Let me figure out how to put this bitch on here. Okay.
I think we're good.
Yeah, but that thing's in the way.
Well, that's why I had it turned the opposite way. Like flip it, so
Flip it?
you get the entire angle. See?
Orientation is locked. Rotate device back.
I guess you're not allowed to go live that way.
I fucking guess not. What? Oh no. No.
It's illegal.
Are we still live? Yeah. 52, 54 seconds. Alright, we gotta push this bitch back.
It's just me and him now.
I know. Maybe that's for the best.
You're just gonna have to like lean into each other.
I'm gonna get a rotating stand. Just rotates back and forth.
You just get like one of those things that you just hold up and just levitates.
Hey. Alright.
Are you recording the audio though?
No, I haven't started this yet.
Yeah, that's what we need.
At all.
That's priority.
Before we start, does anyone want anything to drink?
I'm good.
Coffee?
No,
Water?
I got water.
I'm good.
You sure?
He's got Longhorn if you want that.
I do
Hell
have
yeah.
that. I might get a cola. Do you want a cola? I have.
Sure.
That was making me get this shit.
He gets a little anxious, guys. I'm sorry.
I'm sweaty.
It's like a schoolgirl going to prom. He just gets a little excited.
That's good.
Do you want a root beer?
Sure.
I'm gonna get. Alright, I gotta go out.
Hmm. I didn't hear you.
Oh, do you want me to refer to you by last name or first name only, or what do you want?
It doesn't matter, man. Either one's fine. I think it's fine.
Short or full name?
If you say John, just say John.
Okay, you good? You're real loud in the mic, man.
Am I? Okay. Let me.
I forgot to get that out of the way now.
Okay. Alright, so we're connected to this. Lens on. And we're recording.
Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to Shakedown First Responder Podcast with your hosts.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Kirsten. We are brought to you today by Longhorn Wintergreen.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You can't say that.
And the decline of the American civilization.
Yes.
One day he hopes to get sponsored. Our guest today has a personal visual experience with the unexplained/unknown. He is an avid Baltimore sports fan with an active live video game broadcasting account. He's got four years of experience in corrections.
4 years.
And he's the best damn shield guy around. Our personal friend. This is John.
Hi, everybody.
He can't.
He can't hear, but
They're
and
clapping.
neither can anybody out there, but it's an applause.
Thanks. Appreciate
You deserve it.
it. Appreciate it.
All right, we're gonna start off with the Did You Know facts. According to WorldPopulationReview.com, the United States has what may be the world's highest number of missing persons. According to the National Crime Information Center, missing person and unidentified person files from 2021 operational year, over 500,000 people were reported missing in 2021. Moreover, 90,000 of those people remain actively missing at the start of 2022. The fact that the United States has the third highest population in the world likely contributes to its high number of missing persons, as does the fact that the country's law enforcement agencies take missing person reports seriously and are well equipped to act upon them and locate individuals reported as missing. But according to National Missing Identified Persons Database, which is funded by the U.S. Department of Justice, more than 600,000 people go missing annually. Approximately 4,000 of those unidentified bodies are recovered each year. Nationwide, there's roughly 6.5 missing persons for every 100,000 people. There are so many places that pop up on the web when you search unexplained disappearances, but one of the constants that pops up upon my research is usually the national parks, specifically Yosemite. It is ranked number 5 in places in the world and has 775 cases that have been reported missing, and 140 are still not resolved and unexplained.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's great.
You wonder, like how, I don't understand why it's always like the national parks.
It's because the National Forest Service and the Illuminati are working together with the alien species,
Think.
with the grazing, obviously, and everyone knows this.
Well, I know you listen to the confessionals, right?
I listen to all kinds of crazy podcasts about different conspiracy theories like tinfoil hat, those conspiracy guys, and the confessionals. What else? The other one with Sam Tripoli.
I'm not sure.
No, I'm not sure either.
Sorry. But yeah.
They have a lot of guests that come on there that have unexplained experiences with people that they are come across, like whenever they're out in the national forests, friends that have gone missing. I know they did one about Bigfoot.
Yeah, there's I don't have my phone on me because we're doing YouTube Live right now, and I can't even see if there's anybody on.
Welcome, guys, by the way.
There is. Awesome. But yeah, there's a guy, I don't have my phone on me so I can't look it up, but he like this is his subject matter,
Specifically what he talks about.
he specifically talks about like the missing 411, the people that go out and just don't come back. Tony Merkel did, he was doing a documentary on Sasquatch out in Washington State or Oregon, I think, and I think it was called Sasquatch and the Missing Man. So as they're filming this thing, they run up on this like car, camper, guy's wallet is still there, all this stuff's still there, keys, everything, like backpack, and dude just went missing. It's like, did he go out there to, I don't know, maybe off himself? Probably, maybe. That could be one reason. But all the other ones, there's one, I forgot where it was, I'm pretty sure it was in Tennessee. It was this little kid back in like the 50s or 60s. They had, this kid went missing, right? Like, he went camping with his brother, his father, his uncles, like whole family. And he goes missing, and like nobody can find him. Like they were playing hide and seek, and then kid just bam, gone.
Like as if he walked into some portal.
Basically. But the weird part was, they never found him, and they started the search like fucking immediately. Like your kid goes missing and you're camping,
You're gonna look right
you're
away.
gonna look. And one of the weird things was, U.S. Army Special Forces came out in helicopters, stayed for a couple days, did some circles with their helicopters, didn't say much, and then just bounced. And they were like, what the fuck was that about?
I mean, there's obviously like so many
They just
acres.
flew in from North Carolina, like, hey guys, what the fuck are you doing here? Looking for Sasquatch.
I think there's like so many different, like obviously there's so many acres that they would have to explore. But there's a lot of these are all connected with the fact that they're either in some sort of like mountain, like forest environment, or like specifically on that website that I got the fact of Yosemite being number 5. 4 of them are all water based. So like the one is the Bermuda Triangle, the other one's the Double C, Lake Superior.
Devil Sea? Where's that?
Let's find out. It's known as the Dragon's Triangle. It's located in the western Pacific Ocean between Japan, Guam, and the Philippines.
Oh, well, yeah. But yeah. Okay, I get it. The Dragon Sea, that's right.
But, like, why? Well, I don't understand what connects these, specifically those. And now, with all these drones that have been along the East Coast.
Yes. So we've been out. Like, we haven't done any episodes for like, shit, when was the last one we
We
did?
did one in December, but it was like
Just-
the beginning of the
Yeah,
December.
we did one like the very beginning of December.
Mhm.
Or it was like maybe 10th or something like that. I forgot. We've taken some time off. It's been the holidays. We got stuff going on in personal lives, all that. In the meantime, I started a Twitter account for Shakedown First Responder Podcast. I started a Patreon account, which we can, I think it's one of those things we can just like add extra stuff. If you want to talk about something else, you can go on there and people like subscribe to it or whatever. I don't really know how it works. Still looking for sponsors. Mint Mobile, I don't know, Simply Safe, fucking anybody at this point, I'll take. I mean, we will peddle your shit. It doesn't even have to be that good. Yeah, we need funding because ideally we want to be out of this area with the highway next to us and into like something more soundproof, a little bit better that way. And we want to make better content and we want to do more episodes. Like we got one coming up with my buddy Sergeant Jordan Teagarden, who is a disabled American veteran, and dude's written 3 fucking books. And I didn't even know about that, and he's a quadriplegic. I'm like, holy shit. So I'm like,
It's gonna
he
be
reached
really
out,
cool.
we talked to him, we're gonna have him on. This is his book. It's called Surviving the Apocalypse While Disabled. I read it, it's fucking cool. He's gonna be on. We're gonna get in touch with the Carroll County Veterans Improvement Program. We're gonna talk with them. We want to get more content. We want to kind of talk to different agencies, and I'll get into some different agencies, like the DOD in this one, when we're talking about these drones over the East Coast, because that's one of the things that we missed. I mean, shit, that started like right as we fucking stopped.
Well,
I mean, I don't think
it's
that was
still
even
going
happening.
on. Like, I'm pretty
It
sure
is
it's
still going on.
on.
Look, I looked it up, and one of the things, so if you're listening to this, or watching this, President Trump was inaugurated yesterday, and one of the things somebody asked him was, when are we gonna hear about these fucking drones over New Jersey? And he said, as soon as I know, I will let you know. So
That was the first time he's heard of it.
still fucking waiting. From the other administration, didn't hear shit. You may go off on this,
The drones?
on the drones. I'll start with drones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go to the drones.
Do you want to talk about the drones?
Sure.
The drones are
Okay.
gonna definitely tie into his experiences.
Yes, so I'll talk about the drones. I'll get into the drones. I'll get into some of that. So yeah, the sheriff of Ocean County, New Jersey, and Monmouth County, New Jersey, said that they were coming from the ocean. They want to shoot them down. Coast Guard says that one of them was following off the stern of their ship very closely. They wanted to shoot it down. They were told no. Naval Depot Earl, which is a naval munitions place in New Jersey, said that there was one hovering overhead. They wanted to shoot it the fuck down. They were told no. Representative Smith from New Jersey says the Pentagon has no idea what they are, but says that they're not foreign adversaries, and they will not let law enforcement track them or shoot them down. And, well, I guess former Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said that there's hundreds of these things.
But how do they know this stuff if they haven't even captured one? You can't shoot it down. You can't do anything.
They have to know.
But do you think it's something that's based government? You think it's like Russia, a different country, or do you think it's like fucking aliens?
I don't think it's aliens.
I think it'd be.
I think
it's our
everyone
government.
wants it to be aliens. I think we'll find out sooner rather than later what it really is. That guy, Representative Smith, was Republican. This guy, Senator Andy Kim, Democrat, New Jersey. This is both sides. What do you call that shit?
Bipartisan.
Bipartisan. This is bipartisan. People in New Jersey are freaking the fuck out. They're like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Not even New Jersey. New York, Pennsylvania. They were in Maryland.
Yes, the entire East Coast.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty
we're
much
down to the Carolinas. Yeah.
And then I heard one of them was hovering over the wildfires in California. One of the like really big ones. They're like the size of a fucking SUV. They're flying at night. They're using FAA lighting to like throw people off, I guess. So Senator Andy Kim from New Jersey said the DoD has confirmed that they have no drone missions in the area at all.
Did you ever watch the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
It sounds pretty similar, does it not?
Yeah, it actually does.
The Hunger Games, Handmaid's Tale.
It's a giant dome. We're stuck in it. We gotta kill
Tell them to
people.
turn the heat on.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any personally, have you?
Tracker jackers looking bitch. I have not seen any. Honestly, I haven't really been going outside and looking up, but I mean, whenever I do,
I mean, we don't.
I haven't seen shit.
I saw a couple.
You
Have you
did?
seen a couple of them?
Mhm.
Like,
It was
how
only-
big do you think they are?
It was hard to say because I mean it was only for a brief period of time because they were on the move. But I mean they looked like they were quite a bit away and there I could still see them pretty clearly. So they've got to be.
It was daylight?
No, it's nighttime.
Well, I'm pretty sure I listened, like, on some podcast or somewhere on the internet, I heard them saying that they were like the size of like a car or something like that. Like they're massive, they're not little.
Yeah, they're the size of SUVs.
Mm-hmm.
They're huge.
Mm-hmm.
But
So do you think somebody's flying in them, or do you think they're just remote?
no, I think they gotta be remote, right? I would think.
Either remote or like some type of like an AI technology that we don't know about
True.
type thing.
Could be that.
I don't know.
Also, I already said Trump says he's going to address the public and be as transparent as soon as he is able to. We'll fucking see how that goes. Congressman,
It's gonna be a whistleblower before it is anybody else.
I mean, but it's been a month. Like, nobody's really said. Like, I've looked online, I haven't really found shit. Unless it's the government and they're just scrubbing everything that comes out. But this guy, Tim Burchett, who's a congressman from Tennessee, says the government so far has taken no accountability and is doing nothing. This is showing that other countries like China, that we are weak, and these drones are spreading out all over the country, now even in California, watching the wildfires, which is fucking strange. It's very dangerous.
I mean, I don't think it's like all of our business. Like, there's reasons why things are withheld from like the public.
But if it's a training mission, say it's a fucking training mission. If it's not,
Right.
then, I mean, tell everyone to panic.
Well, I think they just don't want to say anything because I think they don't know. And if they say they don't know, then everyone's gonna panic.
They have to know. They
Yeah, they've
fucking
got to.
have to know.
I feel like if they didn't know, they would be shooting them down. I don't think they'd be letting them fly over, government facilities and military bases.
No,
If they didn't know.
they have satellites that can read, something as small as like chicken scratch on the back of a baseball glove in Idaho that's laying on the ground. They know where the fuck these things are. They have to. But this guy was saying, or Chet was saying, it's dangerous. He believes that it could be from a foreign actor, and they may be testing our abilities and capabilities. It could be launching from a submarine off the coast of New York, and we don't know their intentions. These things could have nuclear, chemical, biological payloads. So the former government is claiming no idea, which I think is full of bullshit. I think they totally fucking know.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel like the most likely outcome is probably it's a training exercise from our own military, but you don't want to say anything beforehand because I would assume you have defenses in place already that are supposed to, one, acknowledge that they're even there, and two, be able to track them wherever they go. And if you let people know ahead of time, like, hey, we're going to release these drones, just so that way everybody's going to be outside looking for them. But if you just, one day, you decide this is going to be the start of the mission, then you get to see not only your capabilities of whatever technology and stuff that you're using, but also how fast information spreads amongst the public, So not only is it like a good testing your capabilities, but it's also good seeing how the public reacts to stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you know what to expect in the future.
I mean, people are freaking out, but they're not like taking to the streets and like
No.
like breaking storefront windows and
Yeah.
breaking into cars and pulling out old ladies and
I think people don't realize that like the government has done stuff like this for years though.
oh yeah.
Whether it's in the air or on the ground, like there's all kinds of people that you don't even know like what their whereabouts are and what they're doing. But they're obviously just working for the government to pay attention to what we're doing. Like it exists.
One of the in the Tesla bomber guy from that did the explosion on New Year's in front of Trump Tower in Nevada, Vegas or whatever. In his manifesto, he said something about he knows that this is a Chinese thing, and they're testing anti-gravitational, or he used some sort of like weird gravity propelling word, and that guy, I mean, people can say he's crazy, he did what he did, but they don't really look into who he was. He was of sound mind, I think. I mean, the guy was former special forces in 10th group for quite a while, and
Well, I mean, things that are outside the normal make people uncomfortable. So it's like automatically looked at as he's crazy because it's outside of the normal. But it's only because people are uncomfortable about it.
I mean, it kind of goes back to like what we were talking about the other day about how with U.S. military technology, or just technology in general that we own and possess, most of the stuff that we know of and that we talk amongst ourselves about is, if we know about it, it's already 20, 30 years past, when that technology was developed and first in its initial secrecy stages. So like we were talking about the F-22 Raptor, which is supposed to be our next gen, like top of the line fighting aircraft, and we don't like the F-22 Raptor hasn't even seen combat yet. It's flown a couple missions, but it hasn't seen combat yet. But yeah, allegedly. But like everybody knows what the F-22 is. People are trying to buy the F-22s. We won't sell them to anybody because of the amount of tech in them. But if we're talking about them, that means they're already 2-3 lines down the line of whatever the F-22 has.
Yeah.
The F-22 is now pretty much obsolete for our tech, but that just means everybody else is so far behind of what we have. You know what I mean? So the technologies that they probably have, we would be able to comprehend at our current
Right,
level
like
of
if
thinking.
you think about the cell phone, like 20 years ago, it was in a bag, like hundreds of dollars, people didn't have them. Then it went to the Nokia, flip phones, all that shit, but now it's a touch screen specifically, and it analyzes everything that you do, and listens to everything that you do, and that's like in, what, a 10-year time frame of how advanced they have gotten?
Yeah, we're part of cyborg.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look around you. It's everywhere.
They have microphones and surveillance everywhere, every household, every car,
It could be
everywhere.
really nice. It could be. I don't think it will be. I think we're living in probably the best time in history to be alive, to be honest. I think we are. With technology the way it is, the way it's been going.
Mhm.
I mean, imagine 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be hopefully better. Hopefully Skynet doesn't take over and we're slaves to the robot population.
I mean, with the missions to Mars, we're gonna get new technology because most of our modern day technology, a lot of it has to do with our missions to the moon the first time around. Like microwaves and stuff like that. A lot of that is from tech from those missions.
True.
So I mean, there's current plans to make a base on the moon. There's current plans to put humans on Mars and actually touch Mars soil. So I mean, to me, there's nothing but good that's going to come out of that. The technology that we're going to get in the next 50 years, it's going to make us look like the Stone Age now. I mean, you think 50 years back from now, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
They were using rotary phones and they were using this and that.
Like the moon landing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, wow. Like, Jesus Christ.
Dial-up internet.
Yes, well, even that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'm sorry, I should have said the moon landing.
A legend.
The alleged moon landing that Stanley Kubrick did.
It's all a conspiracy in the end. I mean, I feel like they should take this technology though and like utilize it for things that could benefit us rather than just I get it. You want to go to Mars and stuff like that, but then there's hundreds of thousands of people that are still missing or homeless or whatever it be. But we're gonna go to Mars.
No.
There's a comedian. What is his name? He's got this one bit. I'm gonna fucking ruin it. But he's like, yeah, I mean, the government can put a guy on the moon, but can't put a guy in an apartment. Like, come on. How much money are we sending overseas to fight these fucking wars
Yeah.
that we could be using here? And just in, I mean, we haven't even talked about the wildfires in California. Like, just that's the biggest natural disaster in American history right now because of all the damage it's doing. And it's like, could it have been prevented? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a fireman. I'm not from California, so I don't fucking know. But if you are a fireman from California, let us know. Yeah, get down on the show, or give us write us, email us. Shakedown First Responder
Yeah.
Proton.me.
But so let's reel back into the whole drones and conspiracy of it being something other than human. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm not too sure. You know, to me, like the universe is so vast and virtually, you know, infinite. And to me, there's got to be other life out there. I don't know if that's necessarily, you know, intelligent life. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. But to me, the universe is just too big for us to be the only life that's in the entire universe. For me, I can't imagine that to be true. As far as life here, maybe a little bit.
Well, you want a pinch?
But as far as like intelligent other life here, I have a couple of things that I've seen that I can't explain. But I
Yeah,
just
expand on those things. 'Cause they're
Please.
yeah. So this was probably about 15 years ago now. I was driving home from work at the time. I lived in Winfield, and driving home from work and coming off 97, making a right onto, I forget what the name of the road is, but anyway, it's all farmland back there. And it's all the wide open farmland with the tree lines at the very edges of the farms. And driving down 97, it's nighttime. I worked a closing shift that night, and I saw 3 lights in the sky, and they're in a perfect line. So my immediate thought was, oh, that must be a bad accident. I guess they, you know, have a medevac out there that they're, you know, landing down to pick somebody up. And I'm just sitting there watching them, like, first of all, I mean, it was 3. Normally medevacs, like Trooper 3 and all that, it's just 1. You know, they go down, land, and then they'll call the other one in. They're not going to all land at the same time. They'll have the other ones hover while the one lands, and then they'll bring the next one in. But these ones were just, you know, perfect line, not moving. And so it just caught me as odd, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to keep driving. I'm going to keep my eye on it. And then eventually I saw the light in the middle come straight down and then go behind the tree line, and it illuminated like everything. I could see the entire tree line. There's nothing there, it's just all trees and brush and everything like that, but it illuminated everything. I could see everything on the tree line. I'm miles away. And then all of a sudden it went back up, and as soon as it was even with the other 2 lights up in the sky, you know how normally helicopters, they go like you know, they take off and they go up and out at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
These went straight up. And as soon as they were all even, they went straight up into the sky, up through the clouds, and disappeared. I never saw them again. And I mean, it was really weird to me. It kind of freaked me out a little bit, but I didn't put too much thought into them. Like, I still thought, I was like, yeah, maybe it's helicopters. I don't know. I don't know enough to tell you. But the thing that really freaked me out was probably about 5-6 months later. I'm scrolling through YouTube, and I go down rabbit holes on YouTube. I'll watch random videos, and just it'll lead to other videos and other videos and other videos. Well, I stumbled across a video that came out of Russia. Had no tags. It wasn't a viral video. It was like 300 views maybe that I just happened to stumble across, and it was like outside of like St. Petersburg or something. But the thing that really freaked me out was the same exact thing that I saw in Winfield. The 3 lights, the one dropped down, came back up, and then went straight up into the sky. I saw it on that random YouTube video. The exact same thing. A whole 9 yards. It freaked me out. I got goosebumps. I'm like, that is crazy. Like, there's no way for me to explain it. Absolutely no way for me to explain it at all.
Did you try like researching more about it?
Mhm.
If other
There's
people have seen it?
Nothing. And then I've tried to find the video since. I can't find nothing. Like, anything that was kind of like that's gone. I can't find it.
Fucking go, man.
I don't know.
It's good.
That's what freaked me out though. It was like a solid 6 months later. I'd completely forgotten about it, and then I'm just scrolling through YouTube. I'm like, what is this? No way. The exact same thing, like exact.
I'm trying to think like what it could be. Like
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
in choppers, like
They wouldn't just shoot straight up though.
I mean, even the choppers, like, you would have heard them too from
They
that
would
far
have-
away.
They wouldn't have a light on unless they're searching for somebody.
Yeah.
And if they're searching for somebody, or if it's a medevac, there's gonna be, I mean, lights and sirens on the ground
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, completely unexplained. To this day, I still have no idea what it was.
I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy that like that kind of stuff happens pretty much on a regular basis because I fall down the same rabbit holes and people talk about stuff like that all the time.
Mhm.
But it's just more or less you're crazy if you talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
But why aren't we talking about it? What's so bad to be bringing, attention to something like that?
Well, that's a good thing about this. Like, media is dead. It's podcasts now. It's people talking about shit that other people want to hear.
Because it's not censored.
Yeah, because we're not sponsored by fucking Pfizer. We're not, brought to you by the Department of Defense. But if you do want to sponsor us, I mean, that would be cool, and I would totally cover up anything you want. I'll do anything for $1. Anything. No. Yeah, but that gets into, like, people going missing, the missing 411, people all over the place, like the Dylatov Pass incident.
Is that the one where they're like, is it the Snow Mountain or whatever?
That was in the Ural Mountains in, what you call it? Russia. So yeah, you want me to read this off?
Yeah.
Okay. I just pulled the shit up on Wikipedia. So, I'm gonna butcher, like, the names of these fucking people. I'm gonna butcher it. But, yeah, the Dylatov Pass incident, it's Russian. Was an event in which 9 Soviet hikers died in the northern Ural Mountains between February 1 and 2 in 1959 under uncertain circumstances. The experienced trekking group from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, led by Igor Dylatov, which is why it's called the Dylatov Pass incident, had established a camp on the eastern slope. I'm not even gonna fucking try that. Cycle in Russian SFSR of the Soviet Union. So they basically, there's 9 of them, they set up camp overnight. Something caused them to cut their way out of their tent and flee the campsite while inadequately dressed for the heavy snowfall and sub-zero temperatures.
Wait, is this the one where they like found them in each other's clothes?
Yes.
Okay.
It's fucking crazy. So after the group's bodies were discovered, an investigation by Soviet authorities determined that 6 of them had died from hypothermia, while the other 3 had been killed by physical trauma. 1 victim had major skull damage, 2 had severe chest trauma, and another had a small crack in his skull. 4 of the bodies were found lying in running water in a creek, and 3 of these 4 had damaged soft tissue of the head and face. 2 of the bodies had missing eyes, 1 had a missing tongue, and 1 had missing eyebrows. What the fuck? The investigation concluded that a compelling natural force had caused the deaths.
What is a compelling natural force? What is
That
that
is
even?
the Soviet Union's way of saying
I'm gonna
we have no
Google it.
fucking clue.
What was that compelling
That's
natural
Russian
force?
for adult fucking.
I don't even understand what falls under that.
You don't mess with bear mess with you.
Compelling natural force is a term used by the Soviet Union to describe the mysterious deaths of 9
They coined
hikers
it.
in the Ural Mountains in 1959.
Yeah.
That was the first thing.
The first and only time it's ever been fucking used. Oh my god, that's perfect. Numerous theories have been put forward to account for the unexplained deaths, including animal attacks, hypothermia, which they already said Fordham died of fucking hypothermia, an avalanche.
An avalanche wouldn't do that though. Like, what is it? An avalanche just goes and shaves your eyebrows off?
No. They're gonna like cave your chest in, maybe.
I don't even know though.
Damage their skull.
Sure, but if it doesn't cut your tongue out or take your eyes out.
It sure does not. So some of these things, Catabec winds, infrasound inducing panic, military involvement, or some combination of those factors. Russia opened a new investigation into the incident in 2019, and its conclusions were presented in July of 2020 that an avalanche had led to the deaths. Survivors of the avalanche had been forced to suddenly leave their camp in low visibility conditions with inadequate clothing and had died of hypothermia. Audrey Kuryakov, deputy head of the regional prosecutor's office, said, "It was a heroic struggle. There was no panic."
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking right.
Okay.
But they had no chance to save themselves under the circumstances. A study led by scientists from EPFL and ETH Zurich, published in 2021, suggested that a type of avalanche known as a slab avalanche could explain some of the trekkers' injuries. You can look that up. Slab avalanche is like snow on top of snow on top of snow, so like the very top layer
Just slides down, the rest
would
stays.
just basically slide down. And so basically like their tent was like away from the tree line, but next to a tree. So when they took pictures of it, so like when the Soviets went out there, and these people had like cameras with them, so they took pictures. There's pictures online you can find of all of them, like during the start of their trek, because it was like a 3-part trek that they had to do through the Ural Mountains.
It was like a mission or something, right? Like they did it for a reason.
Yeah, well, it was like let me look it up. Let's see.
I forget what I remember like hearing about this, and it was they did it for a reason, and then there wasn't there some like Russian exercise going on like forever away, but they saw an unexplained light. Remember?
Yes, that was what one of there was a survivor
Of the 9?
of the 9, but he was the 10th guy, and he didn't go out. So
He just stayed.
yeah, he was I think he got sick or something, or his mother, so somebody was sick at home. He wound up not going on that part of the trek, and he wound up going home. But he said that one of the guys had a camera, and they found the camera but didn't have any film in it. And he was like, that guy definitely had film in his camera. So
Taken or hidden.
they took it.
I don't know, do you believe in Bigfoot? Or Dogman?
The Yeti.
Or any of the other?
Well, they also said it could have been one of the Mansi people. And the Mansi people are a small group of indigenous people living in the Kanti Mansa, I'm ruining that, an autonomous okrug within Tyumen Oblast in Russia. Go official status with Russia. The Mansi language is the postulated Ugric languages of the Uralic family. Mansi were formerly known as the Voles. So they're basically like a small tribe that lives out there. Nothing too crazy about them. They've somebody said that they interviewed them and like everything kind of checked out. But,
I mean, why would they even interview with the Soviets though? Like somebody that's.
well, because they were the only people that were close by, other than the government doing
Their exercise?
whatever testing
Excuse me.
they were doing that was like 50, 100 miles away,
Mhm.
something like that.
Sometimes he glitches, you just gotta hit him.
I'm trying to be this is the guy who survived, I think. So the group arrived by train at Evdel, a town at the center of the northern province of Sverdlovsk Oblast, in the early mornings of January 25th, 1959. They then took a truck to Vizhai, a Lori village that is the last inhabited settlement to the north. On January 27th, they began the trek toward Gora or Torten. On January 28th, one member, Yuri Yudin, who was the guy, I'm guessing that's lived, who had several health ailments. He had a congenital heart defect, rheumatism, turned back due to a knee and joint pain that made him unable to continue the hike. But the rest of the remaining died. And yeah, it goes on. This is yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they stopped where they stopped. So what, basically in 2020, 2019, they had said they thought it was the tree that they were next to, right? So they're all 9 of them are in this one tent. So they took their clothes off. They got everything probably laying on the ground. It's fucking sub-zero temperatures out, so they're all huddled together. They're thinking a piece of snow fell off the tree and hit the tent, and they fucking freaked out. They were like avalanche. One dude cut his way out, and everybody followed. And then they just ran into the darkness. So like, they split off into fucking groups, and then one, they said there was like a tree. He was like trying to climb up a tree. So I'm thinking like, why else would you be wanting to climb a tree other than you think there's a fucking avalanche?
Yeah.
I mean, cold temperatures can really alter your mind's perceptive too.
Yeah, that's the hypersonic whatever.
Especially if they weren't dressed for it at all. I mean, I think it's interesting just because it happens more than we like think. When I was like looking into these missing persons the last couple of days, a lot of them are along like Mount Everest, the Appalachian Trail. Obviously there's other mountains in other countries, but I stayed specifically to the United States. But it's a lot of things are in the mountains.
Yeah, this
I mean,
infrasound induced panic. So like extreme
cold.
sub-zero temperatures would make them gouge each other's fucking eyes out and then rip each other's
I mean, I feel like that's a little bit like,
look at his fucking eyebrows off.
I don't know, that's
Look
a
at the
little
tongue
weird.
coming out.
Yeah.
But it's like,
You wouldn't, would you act that way?
but when they did they were doing the autopsy, the guy was alive when his tongue was cut out. And it's like, why? What
You're
do you
saying too
fucking
much.
think you do that?
Saying too much.
Yeah, saying too much.
I mean,
I mean, they were gonna die anyway.
yeah, but they wouldn't do something like that. I feel like in extreme panic, you eventually just freeze. Especially if you're cold. Like, you're not gonna be acting like that.
Yeah, wouldn't your brain just be like,
Shut down.
just, yeah, like everything would shut down and just be like, it's nice and warm, I'm just gonna die here.
I mean, if you think about it, like when you drown, like, you know, happens daily, but when someone drowns,
Like usual.
they panic, but then they stop. And they're not dead because, like, when they stop, they're still alive,
Mhm.
but your body shuts down.
Yeah.
Or if you're like on fire, it's the same thing. Like, you're gonna flail and move around, but then you eventually just stop. You're not gonna just act that way.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking interesting. Really weird and strange as shit.
I mean, it also wouldn't entirely shock me either if the Russian military is out there testing some type of like a biological agent or something.
See, I was thinking
They
that too.
saw it, and they're like, they gotta get rid of them.
Yeah, but
Or that like maybe they were downwind and happened to be carried, and that's how they got affected by it.
true.
You know?
Or they were testing like some sort of like frequency
Yeah.
disruptor that'll mess with your brain.
Hmm.
Yeah, that too, but my thing is, why not just get rid of them? The military is the one who found them. I mean,
9 of them, though, like, maybe
they
that's
found
why.
all of them.
But maybe that's why. Like, maybe it was, they didn't want that much attention. They can't find 9 people, so it's easier just to report them dead than them all. They're just, like, you want people out there scoping out where they're at.
You'd be like, oh, there's an avalanche, and they're all buried under the snow.
Because I'm curious if anybody's went out there since they've been out there.
Oh, I'm sure they have, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's the one thing I saw on YouTube was there was somebody, a guy who did like the trek, and it basically came up empty with like, yeah, I don't know what this thing is. It could have been, yeah, like you said, or like the military or a UFO. Maybe they were testing some sort of aerial technology to beam them, or because some of them had radiation on them, like they were, and it's like,
See, that would make more sense.
but if you're a search party, why are you going out there with a fucking Geiger counter?
Yeah.
Just like, why would you do that? So obviously, I think there was some shenanigans.
I'm
I
pretty
think there
sure
was some
that it
shenanigans.
was probably the drones that were flying over Jersey.
It was
And they're back.
1959. I mean, this is
Drones definitely existed.
One thing I can guarantee you is I definitely think the Russian government was probably involved with
Did
it.
you want to try and pronounce their names
Oh boy.
of all 9?
Oh, yeah,
You know, in memory.
Oh yeah.
in memory.
Gotta pull one out for our enemies.
Yeah, pour one out. There are one here somewhere.
They're buried for the second time.
Yeah, there's a lot on it. Infrasound. Another hypothesis popularized by
Bubbles.
Donnie Eicher's 2013 book Dead Mountain is that wind going around Koblenz-Cycl created a Karaman vortex strait, whatever the fuck that is, which can produce infrasound capable of inducing panic attacks in humans. Okay. Yeah, panic attacks. But like,
Yeah.
A lot of things can do that.
gouge your eyes out. Cut your fucking tongue out. That's paradoxical undressing. International Science Times posited that the hikers death were caused by hypothermia, which can induce a behavior known as paradoxical undressing, in which hypothermic subjects remove their clothes in response to perceived feelings of burning warmth. So yeah, like your brain thinks it's,
I mean, think about when your hands are so cold, and
yeah,
then you like run them under hot water, it almost hurts.
yes.
You're like your hands start to hurt when it's out in the cold.
So they're probably freaking the fuck out. And some of them did have burns on their hands from like trying to start a fire and probably putting their
Putting
fucking
their
hands
hands
in
in
the
the
fire. If that's what happened. The only thing I don't get is the radiation, the removed eyes, the removed tongue, in which this guy was alive. And there was a 12-year-old that said he was at because I don't think all of them, but most of them were all buried near this area, near the Ural Polytechnic Institute, I think. He said that one of the bodies looked like it was sunburned.
Sunburned?
Yeah. Like, or like tanned or something. Which I guess can have like snow, what's that called? Snow burn?
Frost?
No, like the reflection off of the snow from the sun. Isn't that cause like burn your skin, right? I think.
I don't know.
I have no idea. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that.
But yeah, I mean, almost. I think it was a couple days. I think they were probably all dead within a few hours.
Probably less than
Once
that.
they didn't check in to the next spot they're supposed to check in at, then they kicked off the search. And then immediately it was the fucking Red Army out there with Geiger counters. Searching for radiation. Yeah, the whole thing was just.
So that just leads that just leads me to assume that they either were testing something out there, something exploded that shouldn't have, or they had some type of secret facility and something happened.
Could be.
Because you don't just go out there with Geiger counters already in hand
Yeah.
just for an avalanche. Like, come on now.
I feel like
it was
it's just-
standard issue.
It's just
Back
the
in
fact that there's
1950.
always
I guess it would be in Soviet Russia.
there's always the unknown. I mean, in
Yeah.
the long run, there's always like something we don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
could
it's
be.
just a sign for us to always be alert and pay attention.
Yeah, and don't go hiking in fucking mountains in Russia. In the
In the middle of a blizzard.
it's Siberia.
I mean, that's like
Basically,
what I
that's
wanted
what
to
the
do
park is.
for my 50th. I was trying to do that.
I found the names here. Here. Read them. Read them.
Igor Alexishev,
Nailed it.
Dylatov, Yuri Nikolaev, Dorshenko,
Perfect.
Ludmila, Alexa Androvna, Davina,
Pretty name.
George E. Yuri, Alexeyevich, Kriv. Okay, I'm done.
Yuri was on Stranger
You
Things.
were on it.
It's like 10 different names in one.
Nikolai Vladimirovich Thibodeau Briganoles.
Their names sound so badass though.
He's the one who died of the fatal skull injury, so.
Probably trying to pronounce his name.
The guy
You
who-
know what?
Simeon, yeah. Not even gonna try that. But yeah, so, moral of the story. If it's 1959, don't go hiking.
Mind your business, people.
Mind your business.
Mind your business.
Especially when you're living in
Let idiots
The
like us
USSR.
talk about things. Risk it for all. I don't know, man. Do you want to wrap it up?
I got some more.
Oh, okay.
I got some more stuff I want to talk about. If that's okay.
Yeah.
If that's okay. We're only at an hour, not even at an hour.
Dive in.
Okay, so this is from a podcast I watched, Sean Ryan show, which I'm sure everybody freaking knows. He had on a former CIA officer in charge of counterterrorism, Sarah Adams. And one of the things that she was talking about, and this is big for first responders. That's the only reason why I'm bringing this up. One of the things she said was that there already is 1,000 terrorists that have deployed to the United States, already trained, and most likely have a plan or plans arranged to do something in 2025.
I mean, I believe there's more than 1,000.
So they trained 10,000 terrorists deployed to Syria, Mali, and Burkina Faso. Those are the ones that took over in Syria. They had been training those guys for a long time. There were reports, speaking of Russia, that Russia has helped supply a homeland attack on U.S. soil through one of their pipelines to push at us because of the war in Ukraine. Another thing she was talking about was suicide vests, invisible bombs that can go through metal detectors, components that they have on these bombs that aren't even hitting with dogs. So basically invisible bombs. Also, I don't know if this is going to stop. Hopefully this is going to stop now that we have a different administration in, but funding our own demise, $40 to $87 million a week going to the Taliban in Afghanistan. That is from the Department of State, and that's from multiple sources confirming that. One of the things tied into these possible attacks on U.S. soil are something called a swarm attack, which is multiple sites all at the same time. So like it would be, let's say, New York, DC, like all up and down the East Coast. But pick a day, pick a time, and it's going to be maybe suicide bombers. We happen to have one in the United States, or these Fedayeen attackers. Fedayeen attackers, they're fight to the death. So they'll do these swarm attacks on top of like kind of like a daisy chain kind of attack. So these guys know this is their mission. They're gonna die doing it. They're gonna take out as many people as they can. So,
I mean, who's to say that wasn't the situation in New Orleans?
well, yeah. I mean, they say that.
Because that was New Year's Day.
That was
New Year's
New
Eve and New Year's Day, a guy drove into the crowd and killed how many people? That was just one.
Oh, it's just one too.
Okay, I knew it was.
Rented a truck and drove right into the crowd.
Yeah, that's one.
And I believe he had an ISIS flag
Did he?
flying off the back of the truck, yeah.
Well,
I think they kind of took that down and started it up right like
all these terrorist networks are now working together to basically fight. The main thing is these fleeing attacks. So what they're going to do is hit like a mall, or let's say an airport. Go into an airport, just start shooting. first responders show up, cops show up, ambulance, everybody. You know, they take casualties to a certain place. Then these guys drive a car bomb or a V-bit into it, blow it up. Or one of them gives up and says, puts his gun down, puts his hands up. They get close to him, boom, sets off his vest. The good thing I think about this is a lot of police and I mean, what's the ratio of people who carry in the United States? There's like what?
I have no idea.
7 guns per person.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Carrying 7 guns.
Well, seven guns per person in the United States, or 2.
Definitely higher the further south you get.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much.
They're probably not going to try this somewhere. They're probably not going to try this in like Tennessee, Texas.
So according to the data of the USCCA, the ratio of licensed to carry individuals in the United States is roughly 8.4% of American adults having a concealed carry permit, with some states having significantly higher percentages depending on their gun laws. For example, Alabama has one of the highest rates at 27.8. So that's the ratio.
Yeah, don't fuck around there.
Basically, 1 out of every 4 people are concealed carry.
Yeah. So yeah, I carry wherever I go. Just because of, you know, I think about this kind of stuff all the time. I was deployed, I was overseas, we came up on a lot of this shit. But the good thing, like I was saying, is a lot of the police, law enforcement, all that, are also combat vets who know this kind of thing happens. But being out of practice, being out of it for so long and having to do everything by the letter of the law, if somebody gives up and you don't know if they have a suicide vest or not,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the kind of risk that you want to take, just popping them regardless.
I mean, your life is threatened. You feel like your life is threatened, so you're justified regardless. Even if somebody gives up, the weapon's still there. If you think about it.
If they throw it down, run away, put their hands up, say, hey, I was the one doing it.
Especially if you're in New York, that's super liberal.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that you're actively getting shot at to pull that trigger. Because even if there's a valid threat there, you know, that state attorneys and all that are going to go after you, any chance they get. So it's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, it's shitty all the way around.
Yeah.
And I hope that the FAA or the TSA gets trained up on this invisible bomb stuff.
They don't even carry though. Like in airports, like there's assigned people that
TSA
carry.
don't
I don't think everybody does. Like when you go through, what's it called? When you go through, when they like check you,
Yeah, TSA.
but it's called something. Well, you go through it, they don't carry. They absolutely don't carry. Because I just recently flown and I know they didn't have anything on
Do
them.
they have a taser?
I don't think so. They could have had one, but like there's officers and stuff around, but like every single one of them should carry. Even if all they're doing is checking bags, they should still be carrying. Because like the whole point is they're checking to see if you have any type of weapon or anything illegal coming into the country, wherever you're going.
Mm-hmm.
But then they don't carry. So what the hell do? They just hold it up and they're like, hey, right here. And then wait. They just wait. Like it doesn't make sense.
I think they gotta have some sort of like code or these things that come through the magnetometers that can see inside of these bags. If they see something, they're probably like, there's a code they can hit on the radio or
Probably buttons on the tables.
yeah, maybe a button or
Panic.
something.
Like our red buttons.
But
You gotta bomb in this house.
What is that noise?
What is that noise?
Is that my refrigerator?
Might be.
Is the door open? It makes that stupid noise.
Cat's like, damn it! I was caught!
It's like, no, please run away.
I always have noise. Alright, was it the refrigerator?
It's gotta be,
Allegedly, a refrigerator.
it is a refrigerator.
There's your freezer. There's a loaf of bread blocking the shelf.
Goddamn bread. You never know what you gotta look out for. Could be the bread.
Thank you for getting
Yeah, you're
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, well, I mean, that's all I had. So yeah, just check it out. Sarah Adams, she was on Sean Ryan's show. If you get a chance, watch that episode. It was pretty informative. He's got another one on the Tesla bomber. That was pretty good. I listened to that one.
Well, Russia was also the one that cut the communication line between what was it, Sweden and the UK or something. They had a submarine and they purposely drove it across the bedrock because they had a communication line, and Russia cut it, and it was like, oh, it wasn't us. And then everyone's like, yeah, it was you. We watched you do it.
How did that happen? Oh, look at that. So weird.
Or no, it was a.
It was never driving the submarine again.
It was a cargo ship, and they had their anchor dropped, and it was just dragging across the
Fucking.
yeah. But it's all this happened, and they're on a straight path for this cable. Like, and all this happened like right as they got to where the cable was. I'm like, we know what you're doing.
Smart.
It's accidental.
They got away with it.
Yeah.
It's accidental.
So I'm wondering what will happen with this new regime that's in now, and maybe if they'll do something about it, maybe we'll start funding more things at home that'll positively impact people, like the wildfires in California.
No.
Like,
I don't
we
know,
can do a
man.
deep dive on that shit.
You just never know.
I'm sure there's some craziness going on there. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, that could be
Hopefully
it.
we just focus on things that are important and not like shutting down TikTok. It's
Yeah.
really not important at all.
That's pretty fucking stupid. We'll make a couple TikToks out of this show. And
And I'll take them all down. So
Yeah.
check them out before they do.
yeah, find us on TikTok. Find us on Spotify. Catch us on YouTube. I'm not really gonna do much editing on this thing if CapCut's down. So
So go
I'm
right
just
up there.
gonna throw this bitch on Spotify and see what happens.
You have a YouTube or you have some account, I thought.
It's Twitch.
So you have
So
a Twitch
yeah,
account.
I stream through Twitch, but I haven't been doing it recently. I've been thinking about starting it back up and starting a game again and all that stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, look them up. Look 'em up on Twitch.
yeah. My Twitch is Oh Come On Gaming.
Oh, come on, gaming.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Nice.
It's like my rage line when I get there. I was like, oh come
How do you spell
on.
cum? How do you spell cum?
C-U-M-E.
Oh, okay. Good. The correct one.
Yeah, the correct way.
Okay. This
We're
one's
PG here, okay?
Sorry.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate
this
it.
was fun.
Mhm.
This is a good one to get out there. So we got more coming down the pipe, and get on Patreon, freaking subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. Send us money. God, we're trying to get out of this hole that we're in financially. We need a better spot
We really
to
do.
do this. Yeah.
Just more stories in general.
Yeah.
We're getting there though.
Yeah.
This will be our year.
Yeah, I think so. 2025. It's our year.
Moral of the story though, be alert and pay attention to your surroundings.
Stay alert, stay alive.
This has been the Shakedown First Responder Podcast.
I'm Mike.
I'm Kirsten. Stay safe.
Stay creepy. And we're out.
But we're still alive.
Woo. It was like an hour and 15.
Nice.
Ah.
Let me shut this down.
Is anybody on there? I can't even
There's
tell.
one like.
Oh, really?
I don't know who it is. It's probably your own
Oh
self.
my gosh. I didn't even look. No, I didn't. I don't know who it was. Yeah, fucking nobody watching.
It's Russia's government.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah,
How do I stop this thing?
it was us cutting that cable and poisoning our own people.
Bye.